Hey, what's going on everyone? Keith with the Tulsa Moto Club, and today we're going to start restoring a couple gas tanks. Now I say a couple because we're going to be working on both the SR's gas tank as well as the KZ's gas tank. Now the SR's tank will be the primary focus in this video, but I do want to repaint the KZ tank, so I figured this would be a good opportunity to get that done as well. Now the first thing to do is to drain any fuel that might be left over in the tanks. Once the fuel was drained from both tanks, I used hot soapy water and washed them both out as well. Upon doing so, I discovered a pretty bad leak going on with the SR's petcock. That'll get replaced, but for now we're just going to fix that leak and work with it. Once the tanks were all clean on the inside, I moved on to stripping the paint off. Stripping the paint off a gas tank is actually pretty easy. It's actually what I made my very first video about on this YouTube channel. I'll link it down below if you want to check it out. But my method of choice is to use aircraft remover. I actually have both the spray can and the gel type of aircraft remover in my shop. So we're going to try them both out so we can compare the two. Now in my opinion, the gel type is a much better solution for ripping off paint. It does a much faster job of working and it rips off more paint in a larger surface area. So if you have a situation where there's a lot of layers of paint that have built up or something similar, this is going to do a really good job of ripping all that off pretty much in one go. Now the spray is not terrible, it just takes a lot of effort to get something done. You have to put on multiple applications to rip any paint off, and it's kind of a hassle. There is one big benefit the spray can has over the gel, and that's the fact that it's just in a spray can. Having the little spray nozzle makes it easy to get some hard to reach spaces, or if you just need to strip paint away from one particular area. It's just a lot cleaner of a job. Once I had all the paint removed, or most of the paint really, I moved on to working on getting the rust out of the inside of the tanks. For this, I'm going to use two different products. In the past I've used Metal Rescue, so we're going to use that today, and we're going to use that on the KZ tank. And I'm also going to try out Evaporust. We'll use that on the SR tank. We'll try them both out, compare the two, and see which one's better. I should probably mention that the Metal Rescue that I'm using in this video today is the same Metal Rescue I used in the last video where I restored the KZ tank the first time. So it is used. Hopefully it'll work just as good, but I'm not sure, but we'll see. Unless you have enough of whichever product you choose to use to fill your entire tank, you're going to end up repositioning and agitating your tank every couple hours or so. That way you make sure that all surface areas get cleaned and the product works and removes all the rust. Now with my tanks, I let them hold the cleaner for the rest of the day and overnight. The next morning I dumped them both out and gave them a good rinse. So neither product really did a 100% job. In my opinion, the Evaporust really didn't do anything at all. It removed a little bit of rust, but there's still a long way to go. As for the KZ tank, well, the Metal Rescue did a much better job. Still didn't remove every bit of rust, but again, it's old Metal Rescue, and for both of them, they have a tank liner, so that's probably going to cause some problems too. But as you can see, it still did a much better job than the Evaporust. Now I'm sure if I let both of these sit with the cleaner much longer, it would eventually take care of the tank liners that are in there. But it seems as if that's going to take quite a while, and I don't really have that kind of time. But if you're just trying to clean out some rust in a tank that you have that doesn't have a tank liner or anything like that, I would suggest the Metal Rescue if you're looking at one of these two products. It definitely does do a much better job, and I've seen it work before on my KZ tank in the past when it didn't have a tank liner in it, and it 100% cleaned it. It's also worth noting that both of these products can be used repeatedly over and over again. Once the liquid turns black, that's your sign that it's spent and it's time to throw it out. Speaking of, it's actually time to throw out my Metal Rescue. As you can see by draining it, it's totally black and I've got to get rid of it. But there's still a lot of cleanup to do. So, there is one other option that I can try. I've actually never tried it before, but I've seen lots of videos of it done, and I've heard a lot of good things from other people about it saying that it works really well. And that's the Works. It's just a cheap toilet bowl cleaner that you can pick up at Walmart, and it's only like $1 a bottle. And since it's so cheap, I figured I'd give it a shot. Now I completely filled both the tanks up with the Works and treated it as if it was Metal Rescue or Evaporust and let it sit for the rest of the day and overnight, periodically agitating and repositioning the tanks and shaking them and everything like that. I gotta say, it worked much better than I expected. It even started eating away at the tank liners, which is what I wanted, but still, not quite at 100%. And I already dumped out the liquid, so I can't really reuse it, and I don't really want to go spend a bunch of money to buy a bunch more bottles. I would say that if the tanks didn't have liners in them, this would have been a great option to use before you use Metal Rescue. It's a lot cheaper. At $1 a bottle, I was able to get enough to fill up both my tanks and still spend less than what it would cost to buy a bottle of Metal Rescue. So I'm not 100% done on cleaning the rust out of the inside of the tanks, but there is one more method I want to try, and depending on what you have already lying around in your shop, this could very easily be the most effective and the most affordable option for you. But that'll be in my next video, so make sure you subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And if you like this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up for me. So let me know down in the comments what your favorite technique is to clean out a rusty gas tank. Or if you have any questions or just want to say what's up, you can do that there as well. Here's a couple other videos I think you might enjoy too, and as always, thanks for watching. Later.